Hello guys, how are we all doing? Welcome back to World Cup predictions for the final game week of the World Cup group stages. I'm joined by Sophie.
Well, I did a little bit better. I think I've climbed up the table a little bit.
Yes, this is the Predictions League standings. Remember to get your predictions in. A couple of people did miss theirs. That's why Sophie's probably moved up the table. But make sure you get your predictions in, guys. And make sure you get them in before the next set of games kick off. Otherwise, they will not be counted. Once again, thank you to everyone who has signed up to the Patreon. If you want to join the Predictions League, do sign up to the Patreon down below. The link is down there. Do make sure to like and subscribe. Get your predictions in, as I say. And let's get straight into this. Big games come in. Let's start with Group A. Qatar versus Netherlands. Now, Qatar are the hosts, and they were the first team to get knocked out of this tournament. That's hilarious. They've been terrible. I think they'll get rolled over here. Netherlands are going to top the group. I don't really want England to play Netherlands in the next game, so hopefully, for England's sake, we avoid these. Netherlands win the group. Qatar have been a shambles. 4-0.
4-0. Do you think that the Netherlands might rest a few of their better players, though, in this one? They might do.
They're not... Well, maybe, yeah.
Just because I don't think they're going to have that much respect for Qatar. So I'm going to say they're going to win for me, but not as heavy, so 2-0.
The other game in Group A is a big one, though. It's Senegal versus Ecuador. Now, Senegal need to win, and they'll go through. Ecuador could just do with a draw. If Ecuador win by a couple of goals, they could actually top this group, which would be quite interesting. I think it'll be a very tight game. They both beat Qatar. They're both convincing against Qatar. Senegal lost to Netherlands. Meanwhile, Ecuador picked up a good draw against Netherlands. I'm going to go for Senegal to just do it. They need to win, and I think they might. 1-0.
I'm going to back a draw.
Ooh.
Therefore, Ecuador will go through. But I'm going to say a 1-1 draw.
Okay, so yeah. Ecuador go through with Netherlands.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be a bit of an upset for me, because I would usually have backed Senegal. So
there you go. That is a little bit of an upset. Let's get on to Group B, and it's USA versus Iran. This is an interesting matchup, this. And they've both got a massive opportunity. The winner will go through. USA have drawn 2 out of 2. The draw against Wales was okay. The draw against England was very good for them. I thought USA were quite good.
Yeah, they played well, didn't they?
We underestimated them. And then you've got Iran, who lost to England heavily, but then really did well to beat Wales late on. And it's in their hands. If they draw, they're going through. I think USA get one more draw, and therefore it won't be enough. I'm going to say a 1-1 draw. Iran are through.
Oh, I'm going to say a 1-0 USA win. I think it's going to be a tight game, but I think USA, they've got the quality to do it, so 1-0.
There you go. And the other game in Group B is England versus Wales. Now, there is a little bit riding on this, but not as much as that other game we've just spoken about. England would have to lose by 4 goals to not get through this group. However, if Iran win that game, then England will need to win to cement going through as top. And as for Wales, they need to win and hope the other game is a draw. It's not going to happen. I think England win. I don't think this is going to be a great game. I think Wales might raise their game for us, but
they will.
1-0 England.
Yeah, I think Wales will definitely raise their game for this one. I think they're going to be right up for it, but I don't see them picking up the win. If anything, I think they'll try and get a draw out of us. But I don't see that happening either. I think, really, we've got to be up for this as well, playing against Wales. So I'm going to say 2-0 England. 2-0
England. Now, before we move on to Group C, we must say this video has been brought to you by OneFootball. Now, OneFootball is a fantastic app, and it's certainly worth downloading while the World Cup is on. They've got so many amazing features, a live ticker, match reports, head-to-head records, all the best kind of features that some other apps do not have. So if you want to stay up to date with this World Cup, then download OneFootball. The link is down in the description. Go check them out. Fantastic, like I say, especially while the World Cup is on. Let's move on to Group C now, and it's Argentina versus Poland. Poland sit top of this group after a very good win against Saudi Arabia, and they drew against Mexico as well. So 2 clean sheets. Argentina recovered very well after that defeat to Saudi Arabia. They beat Mexico 2-0. Argentina need to win this to top their group, and if they don't top their group, they're probably playing France. I think it could be a draw. If Poland can just get out of there with a draw, that should be enough for them to top the group. I'm going to say 1-1.
For me, I think there's going to be another moment of Messi magic, and I think he's going to do enough to take them through. So 1-0 Argentina.
Wow, that would be massive. Okay, the other game in that group is Saudi Arabia versus Mexico. Both have a chance of getting through. No teams out at the moment. Saudi Arabia win and they're going through. Mexico need a win. A draw will probably do neither any good. I'm going to back Mexico, but whether it's enough, we'll have to wait and see. I'll say 1-0 to the Mexicans.
Yeah, I really don't know which way to go with this one. I think this is quite a hard game to predict, so I think I might just have to sit on the fence and say 1-1.
Yeah, Mexico haven't scored yet, which is worth noting as well. Let's move on to Group D, France versus Tunisia. France have been good so far, 2 wins from 2. Kylian Mbappe could be player of the tournament.
He is so far for me.
Yeah, I think France complete a clean sweep here. I think they'll beat Tunisia. Tunisia have given it a go in some games, but the defeat to Australia was very costly, and I don't see them beating France. France to edge a 2-1 win.
Now I'm going to say a bit of a France rollover here, 3-0. I think they're looking very, very good. As you say, Mbappe is in great form. So for me, an easy France win.
There you go. Now, next up is the big game in this group because it's Australia versus Denmark. The winner will go through. Australia will go through with a draw. I think Australia will probably do it. I think they will. I think Australia were very good against Tunisia after a not so great second half against France. And like I say, they just need to get a draw here. If they score first, you know, they'll be in a great position. I think they might just edge it. Denmark haven't been at their best. 1-1.
Yeah, I agree. I think Denmark are underperforming. And actually Australia are surprising me. So I'm going to back them to win this 2-1.
Wow, okay, so they're definitely through. On to Group E, it's very interesting, this one. Spain versus Japan. Now, Spain were fantastic against Costa Rica, but I think against Germany, it's probably a more even game. Now they take on Japan. Japan, very strange, they beat Germany, but then they've lost to Costa Rica, so they're not in the best position now. If they'd have won that Costa Rica game, they'd be through. I think, do you know what? I think Spain just edge it. I feel like Japan can put up a fight, but that Costa Rica defeat could really cost them. 2-1 Spain.
Yeah, I'm going to say 2-0 Spain. I think even against Germany, they looked quite good, but their opening game, you've got to give them credit for that 7-0. So, yeah, I'm going to say 2-0 against Japan.
There you go. And the other game in that group, Germany versus Costa Rica. This is massive. Now, Germany recovered well after the defeat to Japan. They came back and got a late draw against Spain, and Costa Rica did them a favour by beating Japan. So Germany know if they win this, they're going through. Meanwhile, Costa Rica, they got a win against Japan. They've not only done Germany a favour, they obviously did themselves a favour, and a draw would actually, you know, finish Costa Rica above Germany, and with my other prediction, that would take them through. I think they might do it. A surprise. Germany won, Costa Rica won.
Oh, I don't know. I think Germany's experience in these sort of situations is going to see them through. I think they played quite well against Spain, and they did obviously get that equaliser quite late on, and I can see them getting the 3 points here. So 1-0 Germany. There
you go, Germany and Spain going through from that group. On to Group F, we've now got Belgium versus Croatia. This group is very interesting. Canada are out, but Morocco, out of nowhere, have thrown themselves into this group. And I think one of these two will go out here. Belgium versus Croatia, which is crazy to think. They were both, you know, got so far in the last World Cup. Belgium have not been convincing.
No.
Only just scraped the win against Canada, rubbish against Morocco. Croatia were good in their recovery against Canada. And I'm going to say Belgium 0, Croatia 1, Belgium are out.
Yeah, no, I'm going to say the same. Not the same scoreline, but I think Croatia in the second half against Canada, they just absolutely tore them apart. They showed their class. And if they do the same against Belgium, they don't stand a chance because Belgium are massively underperforming. So for me, 2-0 Croatia.
2-0 Croatia. And the other game in that group is Canada versus Morocco. Got to give Morocco so much credit. They picked up 4 points from Belgium and Croatia. No one saw that coming. And it's the easiest game on paper, but I will give Canada credit. I know they've gone out, but they've put up a fight against Belgium and Croatia. They've just come up a bit short. Belgium and Croatia will be hoping Canada do them a favour here. And as good as I think Canada can be, there is a difference here. Morocco have still got something to fight for. Canada are out. So I think that gives Morocco the edge here. Canada 1, Morocco 2.
Okay, so you think Canada will score? Do you know what? I was, first half against Croatia, I was pleasantly surprised by Canada, and I thought maybe they could actually get something from that. And then unfortunately they crumbled second half. And coming up against Morocco, who are looking very, very solid, I don't see them getting anything. So for me, 2-0 Morocco.
Oh, okay. Right, on to the next group. Cameroon versus Brazil. Once again, the game's coming up at us so fast that we're just recording this before Brazil play Switzerland. But we did just see Cameroon draw 3-3 with Serbia, and I was so impressed with them. Cameroon were physical, they were fast, they had so much going for them. Defensively, yes, they let in 3 goals, but they scored 3, and that's the first time they've ever done that in a World Cup game. And shock of the video, they're going to score 3 again and stun Brazil. 3-2 to Cameroon.
Oh my gosh. No, I will say that they're going to score, but for me, Brazil have so much class. I know Neymar's out for I don't know how many games, but his ankle's just massive right now. As I say, I think he'll be a miss, but they've got plenty of cover, so they'll be okay. I'm going to say they're going to win, but 2-1, so a tight game, and I do see them conceding. Okay,
right, so the other game in that group has something riding on it. Switzerland take on Serbia. Serbia need a win here. Very frustrating for them. They were 3-1 up against Cameroon, as we said, and they've blown it. Yeah. But they've got a chance here. If they can get up to 4 points, will that be enough? I don't know. I think these two are actually quite evenly matched, and it could be a really cagey 0-0 draw.
I'm going to say a 1-1 draw, but I do see a draw playing out here.
On to the final group now, and as I say, once again, recording this just before these lot have played their last group games, which makes it a bit tricky to predict these, but the games are coming so thick and fast. It's South Korea versus Portugal. Basing it on the first games we saw, South Korea were quite good against Uruguay to get a 0-0. Very tricky here against Portugal. They'll need something to get through. Portugal beat Ghana in their first game 3-2.
Made a meal of it towards the end there, didn't they?
They did. I think Portugal will get through this one. I'm going to say South Korea score. 3-1 Portugal.
Yeah, I'm going to say 2-1 Portugal, so a slightly tighter game, but I do see Portugal picking up the win.
There you go. And the final game to predict is Uruguay versus Ghana. Now, this was a massive game back in 2010 when Luis Suarez had all that controversy, blocking the ball off the line with his hand, and then they won on penalties. This is massive. Can Ghana get revenge on Uruguay? Even if they don't get through, I think they just want to win this game just to get revenge. And I love a story like that. Why not? Uruguay 0, Ghana 1.
Oh, I'm going to say a draw. I think it's going to be an entertaining game, so 2-2 for me.
2-2. There you go. That wraps up our predictions for the final set of group games. Obviously, we'll be back next week when it's the knockout stages. So get your predictions down below. Do make sure to like. Do make sure to subscribe. Do make sure to check out OneFootball down below. And we'll see you in the next one. Peace out.